So one thing is clear, the era of one-party rule is over, at least for the next 5 years. We are back in coalition mode. Some of you may remember how it was. A lot of power sharing, a lot of discussions, and a lot of disagreements. India first saw a coalition government in the late 1970s. This was after the emergency. By the 1990s, it was normalized. Regional parties were on the rise, so no national party could win alone. But all that changed in 2014, when Prime Minister Modi rode to power with a simple majority. And he improved his tally in the next election in 2019. But now the empire has struck back. The question is, how will this affect his administration? First, let's look at some basic factors. Number one, Modi is used to single-party rule, both as Chief Minister and Prime Minister. He never had to deal with a coalition. So his style is also built like that, very personalized, very decisive, which is the opposite of how coalitions work. So the question is, how quickly can he adjust? That's the first factor. Now, factor number two, his partners are tough customers. The Telugu Desam Party of Andhra Pradesh and the Janata Dal United of Bihar. This is the TDP's third alliance with the BJP. They have walked out twice in the past, once in 2004 and then again in 2018. So like I said, a tricky customer. The second is Nitish Kumar of the JDU. He's the Chief Minister of Bihar. He's also notorious for switching sides. The latest instance was in January this year when Nitish Kumar switched from the opposition camp to the BJP camp. We just told you about it. So both are fickle allies. Managing them will be tough. And finally, the third factor, give and take. That's what coalitions are all about. The BJP came into this election with some big promises, like accelerating the new Citizenship Amendment law, implementing one nation, one election, and a uniform civil code. Those promises may have to wait. Some of them would require a supermajority in parliament, which is now beyond reach, and the rest will require coalition support. And these are the three main factors to watch out for. Ministries will have to be shared, objectives will have to be reevaluated, and things may generally take more time because now there will be more people to convince. But is that good for governance? Or could it slow down reforms? Well, there are two schools of thought here, two ways of looking at it. One, yes, reforms will slow down. You have more parties to convince and more leaders to get on board. I'll give you a few examples. In 2019, the BJP enacted two important decisions. They banned triple talaq and they scrapped Article 370. Guess who opposed both the decisions? Nitish Kumar's JDU. He was allied with the BJP back then, but the BJP had its own majority, so the JDU support did not matter. In the current context, that could be harder. So yes, some reforms will slow down. But here's the second school of thought. A coalition will increase checks and balances. It will ensure laws are multi-partisan. I guess a lot will depend on political acumen, because we have seen major reforms in the coalition era too. In fact, the BJP has a great example to follow, that of Atal Bihari Vajpayee, who headed a much weaker coalition, yet he managed some very important reforms. He liberalized the insurance sector, he introduced telecom reforms, and he privatized state-owned companies. So coalitions are not a license to not reform. It means that you will have to work harder, you'll have to take more risks, make more concessions, and be willing to take a step back. Having said that, the proof is in the pudding. What we mentioned is based on past coalitions, none of which had such a popular prime minister, and that could also play a key role. Modi remains the most powerful leader in the country. He also has 10 years of experience that could give him more leeway than other coalition prime ministers. I guess we'll have to wait and find out.
Firstpost reports from the world's second largest continent. Hello, I'm Alison Lagrange. A very warm welcome from Durban, South Africa. We get you the news and the newsmakers from Africa. From elections to climate change to innovations and opportunities. As the world's attention shifts, we report from Africa, the heart of the global South. Join me every weekday live on Firstpost.